Okay, good evening. Hi, how is everyone? So I promised you I would jump on this evening and help you create your 5-year plan and help you decide what you want to be doing, where you want to be, what you want your life to look like 5 years from now. And maybe you're like what I used to be like, and you don't really look much further than the week ahead, living for the weekend. You may be thinking about when your next holiday is or what you're going to be doing for Christmas, and that's as far as it goes. And that's why often years fly by and we find ourselves maybe not exactly where we thought we would be. And I think as you hit those milestones, maybe hitting your 21st birthday, your 30th, your 40th, your 50th, your 60th, you suddenly start reflecting, don't you, on where have the years gone, and maybe you're in exactly the place you want to be, which is just wonderful. But if you're not, then this could really help you. Also, do you know what? I was truly happy in everything I was doing, but sometimes we just forget to dream a bit bigger, don't we? And we get comfortable and we get in our comfort zone, and it's that nice little space where we like to be. But we do feel happier as human beings if we're progressing and we're learning and we're growing. So this is just me guiding you through how to create your 5-year plan. I'm not going to tell you what you should be doing. I'm just going to help you decide and then create a plan to get there. So grab a pen and paper if you haven't got one already. So the first thing to think about is, what do you want? What do you want from, not life in general, but 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? Ideally. And I don't want you to think, well, I would like that, but I can't do that because of this reason, or no one in my family's ever done that, or I don't know anyone who's successful in that. Don't put limits on yourself. Ask yourself seriously right now, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years' time? And please write that down. Putting pen to paper itself is setting the intention. You're sending it out there to the universe. So get the pen on paper. So think about really what do you want, and think about these different things. I'm just adding more on as I go. So firstly, think about your career. So what would you like, and you've got to be really specific with this when you're writing goals, what would you like your job to be? Are you going to be a business owner? Are you going to be employed? What's your job title going to be? What's the income? Not what it's going to be, what you want it to be, and then we're going to get to the intention of actually, making that happen. But what would you like your job title to be? What would you like your income to look like? What would your ideal monthly income be 5 years from now? Because I'm telling you, if you plan this right and you get the accountability and you get the support from the right people, you can make this happen. Think about that, your career, your job, your business, whatever that is that you really, really want to do, taking all limitations off you. Next, I want you to think about health. How do you ideally see yourself 5 years from now? Because we know that massive transformations in inner health and body, if you're suffering with weight or anything like that, we know that in 5 years we can make a massive, massive difference. So what do you want your health to look like in 5 years' time? Because again, it's daily baby steps that are going to absolutely get you there. So maybe you write down and being really specific as well. Rather than saying, I want to lose so much weight, just say what your ideal weight would be. We don't want to be thinking about sacrificing things. We just want to see what our ideal self will be. So health, weight, day to day, what would your ideal life look like? 5 years from now, if you could live the perfect day, what would it look like? Would you be at work all day? Would you be living abroad? Would you be traveling the world? Would you be bringing up children? Would you be doing charity work, helping build orphanages? Would you be building a business? Would you be retired? Where do you want to be? What does your day look like? Do you get up? Do you go to the gym? Do you have lunch with friends? Whatever it is, write it down, even if it seems very unrealistic right now. What does your house look like? How many bedrooms does it have? Where is it? Does it have some land? Think about the price of that house as well. Do a bit of research, get on Rightmove, think about your ideal house, the location, the amount of bedrooms, and get on Rightmove and find a house. It may not be the house, but look at the price that that will cost, because you really need to work out what you need to create to make that happen, and you can do it in 5 years. Relationships. So if you're in a relationship, where do you see that relationship being in 5 years? Maybe it's marriage, maybe it's children, whatever that is. Maybe you're single and you want to be single still in 5 years, which is absolutely fine. Or maybe you are looking for a partner. Like, what ideally situation would you like to be in with your relationships? And I want you to really take some time after watching this video to work out what that lifestyle will cost you per month. How much would you need to be earning to pay for that house that you've got in your mind, to be able to live your days that you have in mind, to do what you want to do, to cover all the bills, to, I don't know, earn that horse paddock with your 3 horses in, or set up a charity. We know it takes thousands of pounds just to set up a charity. So think about what that lifestyle in 5 years' time is going to cost you. Take some time to do that and enjoy that. But then we need to think about how we're going to get there, because sometimes we worry so much on the how, and it's just about taking action now. And this is where people slip up. They get very comfortable in their work and they have this ideal scenario in their head, and they do things like maybe go buy a lottery ticket every week and just think, gosh, if I just won the lottery, everything would be perfect. Well, the chances of that are pretty slim. You've got more chance of earning that yourself. And actually, the more you learn about money and how we're blueprinted with our income from being a very young age, and it's our beliefs about money. Even if you did win the lottery, if you were blueprinted wrong and you didn't have the right mindset to have that type of money, you would end up back in the same situation. And it's crazy, isn't it? But we hear about people winning the lottery and then they're back to broke years down the line, and that's because they're blueprinted at that income. So money mastery is something definitely to work on. So if you've got any questions about that, it's something that I'm working on myself at the moment, because it's definitely where I have blockages myself and holds me back. So reach out if you want to chat about that more, definitely. But the change starts with you, and it has to start today. Or from tomorrow, should I say, because you're probably getting tucked up ready to go to bed. So you really need to look at your daily habits, because what you do every day is what creates your week. And the weeks add up to months, the months add up to years. Like, can you believe it is nearly September already? This year, I don't know if it's just me, but it's absolutely flying by, absolutely just, the speed of light. So you need to look at what you're doing on a day-to-day, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing day in, day out, and expecting a different result. Nothing will change unless you change something. Nothing. So if you do see life being different 5 years from now, how on earth will you create that doing exactly the same thing? Because where we all are right now, what we earn, what our life looks like, is all because of the choices we've made up to today. And sometimes that's really hard to swallow. And, I know I've made really bad choices in the past and really good choices, but, we have to live with, we are where we are because of the choices we make, and we can't blame other people and circumstances, because at the end of the day, it's down to us. So look at your day. What do you do? For me, I was always a very late riser in the morning, pre-children. I would much rather watch a film at night and stay up till the early hours and then sleep in till lunch, and then so I really had to change those habits, because I know the most successful people in the world are early risers. All the top CEOs, all the professional athletes out there, they have a morning ritual. You can go on YouTube, type in Miracle Morning rituals. Forbes magazine did a big spread on this, and statistics show that people are more motivated, enthusiastic, productive in the morning. Also, if you're doing reading and personal development in the morning, that's great, because your subconscious is most impressionable in the first 20 minutes of waking. So now when I wake up, I put a meditation app on, I do positive affirmations, I do a little bit of journaling, write down my goals, what I need to do that day, and do some reading as well. Exercise I try and squeeze in throughout the day, because obviously I have to get all this done before the kids get up. And I enjoy that now, but did I at first? No. Why would I want to get up even earlier than I have to get up with the children anyway? And it's because I want my life to look different in 5 years from now. Like, I love my life where I am and I'm happy, but I want more for my family. And also I know that the more I can create and the better I can become at what I do, the more people I can help, because I want to see other people benefiting. So that gets me out of bed in the morning. So you need to think about why you want these things 5 years from now. What is your why? What is the thing that's going to get you out of bed in the morning? What would make you get up half an hour earlier to get done what you need to get done to have that life in 5 years from now? Or maybe why will stop you watching the soaps at night so you can get done what you need to get done? Because sometimes we need those short-term sacrifices to create the long-term gain. And if your vision is to do with business, working for yourself and having that independence and choices and not having a boss, you're going to need discipline, and you're going to have to make short-term sacrifices, because to have huge success, you need to do what other people are not prepared to do. While everyone else is sleeping in and getting up just in time to go to work, getting home, having the tea, putting the kids to bed, and then just laying on the sofa all night, if you do that day in, day out, nothing will change. So sometimes it does take short-term sacrifices, but when you start to see the benefits, you will start to not even miss that stuff. I do not miss watching the soaps at all. In fact, if they ever come on and I'm in the room, I just think, gosh, they're so miserable. Like, why was I filling my head with that negativity every day? So your why would be what drives you, what will make you make the change. If you've got a family, I find children, my husband, and doing something for us as a family and other families. I love working with other parents. That's my why, that's my drive, that's what makes me do things. Even if I don't feel like it, I do it anyway, because my why is too strong and my why is bigger than any excuse. So think about, what is your why? Is it family? Maybe it's extended family that you want to help. Maybe you'd like to retire a partner, a parent. Maybe you would like to travel the world and see family that you have abroad. Maybe you just love helping other people. Whatever that is, you need to find a deep down why, because if it's just money that's driving you, that will never be enough. And what happens when you earn that money? Like, you won't feel fulfilled anymore. You need a really strong why. So the next thing to do is to break this down into goals. And, goal setting is a massive training in itself, which I'm happy to do, if the demand is there. But I want you to think about life 5 years from now, and you write all that down and remember everything down to your income, the cost of the house you're going to live in, to have that lifestyle, your relationships, your health, your hobbies. What does your day look like? What do you get to do for yourself? Get all that down on paper. And then write down your 3 years from now. So where do you need to be in 3 years to then be getting closer to what you want in 5 years? Because 3 years will go like that. Then you want to be thinking about 1 year from now, and we know how fast the year goes, so it's crucial that we break that down. So 1 year from now, what does life need to look like? 6 months from now, where do you need to be? And then 1 month. So let's look at, say, October the 1st. Where do you need to be by October the 1st? What needs to be put in place as that stepping stone? It might be just making a few calls. It might be finding an accountability partner, someone that's on a similar journey to you that you can check in with and say, yeah, I've done what I said I was going to do. And because sometimes, especially if you're in business for yourself, you need accountability, because there's no instant consequence of not doing something. So if you have a job and you just didn't go to your job all week, you'd get fired, and the consequence of that will probably not paying the mortgage, and the consequences would quite rapidly catch up with you. Now, if you're in your own business or you're thinking about going into your own business, the consequence sometimes is not always there, because especially what I do in social marketing, people don't have to give up jobs and careers to do it. So they've got the stability of their full-time job, still there. But if you were going into traditional business and you had to give up your job and jump into that, at first there might not be the instant consequence of not doing the actions, but over time that would definitely come. So you need really strong self-discipline to be an entrepreneur. So if you're driven and you've got a massive passion and a why and a hunger, you'll do really well running your own business, but you definitely do need that. So think about daily habits. What your next month looks like, your 6 months from now, a year from now, 3 years, 5 years, all comes down to your daily habits. And it's such a big misconception that we see people that have huge success, and you might notice this if you're speaking to a group of friends and they hear about someone that's done well with something, and they'll be saying, oh yeah, but that's okay because they went to that school, or they went to private school, or their parents did that, or they've got loads of money, or they knew the right people. And you hear people trying to turn down it because if they got lucky, whereas actually people don't get lucky. They are doing things behind the scenes that other people don't see. And obviously the big success can be quite public, but you've not seen what these people are doing day in, day out. Just those little actions that other people aren't doing. And what happens is the compound effect kicks in. The compound effect is the eighth wonder of the world, and it's like the penny doubling. So if I was to offer you £1 million right now, or a penny that doubles every day for 30 days, which would you take? A penny that doubles or £1 million? When I first heard that, I was straight away £1 million. Thank you very much. Take that home. But actually, if you allow a penny to double every day for 30 days, by day 30, it's over £5 million. That is the compound effect, and not a lot of people know it. Obviously, I read a book on it, The Compound Effect, because in my business it is all about the compound effect, and in any business really. And even if it's just health and wellness, daily eating habits, your exercise, compound effect is so powerful. So recommend that book, The Compound Effect. But yeah, it's your daily habits. That's it. It's what you do every day. And if you want something that most people don't have, you need to do something that other people aren't doing. You need to do more. You need to follow your gut. You need to get out there and just decide what you want and go for it, irrelevant of what other people think as well. Because whenever you're going for something different or you're going against the grain, you will lose some social esteem for a short while, because some people won't get what you're doing. So that's when you really need to tune in and surround yourself with people that are on the same journey. So for instance, if all your friends have always been employed and none of them are business owners, and you want to set up your own business, then connect, go to networking groups, meet other women and men in business, join groups on Facebook, connect with me, connect with people that are in the same, it doesn't have to be the same industry, but I would say there's a definite difference between being an entrepreneur and being employed. So you need to surround yourself with those people. Also, some of the best advice I ever got was only take advice from someone that's in a place you would like to be. So if you've got someone that still has a mortgage, works 40, 50 hours a week, doesn't see their family much because of work, only gets 2 weeks holiday a year to go abroad, if you're taking advice from someone like that, then think about that. Take advice from someone who's in a place where you would like to be. Only where you would like to be. And that was a big thing for me to learn. So yeah, there's no such thing as luck. It's about you getting out there, making small changes, deciding what you're going to do each day to get there. It doesn't have to be some massive big action like it sometimes seems from the outside. Connect with people that are on the same thing. What I will say is, if you do tiny steps towards what you need to do to earn to be there, if you take those tiny steps each day, what will happen is for a while, it could be 6 months, it could be a year, everything will stay the same. But then the compound effects will kick in, and you will head up on the success curve. Yes, that's where you want to be. What would happen is you might have someone who maybe doesn't support or understand what you're doing, and they're watching and they're thinking, well, everything's pretty much the same as what my life looks like. I told them they shouldn't have done that, should just stick with what they're doing. But what happens with the people that aren't doing that, and maybe they're watching the soaps or they're eating the unhealthy food every day and the health deteriorating, weight, fitness, everyone seems to look like they're on the same line for a while, but eventually they will start heading down on that failure curve. It's inevitable. So do you want to be on the success curve or the failure curve? And just remember, it's your daily habits that will send you up or down. Failure is just a way of learning as well. So when you hit obstacles, you're not failing. You're just being given a massive opportunity to learn and be better. So please remember that. I'd highly recommend the book The Slight Edge, because that talks about the success curve and the failure curve and how successful people get that slight edge just by what they're doing. If you want any business advice, so I'm no Alan Sugar, but I've earned a traditional business. I know the pros and cons of that. I'm now in social marketing, so obviously know a lot about that. And I've been employed. So whatever it is you want to do, and also I have a big network of people in lots of different industries. So if you need advice, connections with people, maybe just some accountability, maybe just someone to say, do you know what, you can blooming do this. Let's get these goals set. Please do reach out to me. It's what I'm here for. I would highly recommend personal development. I'll do a whole different video on that because that's life-changing. Making a small commitment each day to personal growth. I would not be doing this video right now if it wasn't for lots of personal growth. And even if you just need someone to inspire you, reach out. There's a lot of people out there that want to help, they want to support, and just go for it. Write that plan, make a decision that it's happening, and I'm going to give you so many more top tips over the next few weeks about how you can make it a reality, including making vision boards with a family, creating positive affirmations, and then even maybe getting down to the nitty-grittiness of business, whatever it is you want to do. So I hope you found that helpful. Please share this with anyone you know who's kind of stood on the fence of taking a leap into doing what they want to do. Feel free to share. Pop some hearts on there if you've taken anything from this, and I would love to hear as well, like, your ideas and where you're going. I love surrounding myself with people that know where they're going and they're on a mission, even if they're not there yet. They're on a mission in life. So that's it from me for tonight. Have a lovely evening, and I shall see you all soon. Good night.